On today's show, let's take a look at a wide-angle attachment lens to see if it's actually worth its price. So currently I shoot on a Canon DSLR, the Canon T3i, and this is great for filmmaking and all because I can change out the lenses and get very different cinematic styles just with the lenses. But before I had a DSLR, I shot on camcorders like the Canon Vixia M40, and even now I shoot on camcorders like the Canon XA20, XA25. These are professional camcorders, but sometimes I wish I had a wider focal length. But these camcorders do not have interchangeable lenses. That's when an attachment lens comes into play. I've used many attachment lenses in the past, especially for wide-angle lenses, but the Canon WA H58 is definitely the most expensive attachment lens I've ever used. Now, this lens is primarily made for a professional Canon camcorder, like the Canon XA20, XA25, the G30, and you can simply screw on the lens to these camcorders. And you could even screw it on to a DSLR lens like the 18-55mm kit lens, as long as it has a 58mm thread on the lens. Now if you want to use this lens on a smaller camcorder like the Vixia M40, you can do that, you just need a special adapter. But would you even want to get this lens on a smaller camcorder? Probably not. Taking a look at the design of this lens, it's all made out of really high quality glass and metal. So it's a rather big and rather heavy lens. Even on the Canon XA25, it still adds some serious weight and bulk to the camcorder. And even adding this lens to my DSLR's kit lens, it makes the DSLR quite heavy in the front. But besides the physical design of this lens, how does it actually perform? Like I said, Canon uses very high quality glass, and when I put the lens onto the Canon XA25, it looks really sharp. As soon as you attach this lens to a camcorder, you'll definitely know the difference. The video is definitely a lot wider, and I really like it. I could definitely see myself using it, especially in a studio environment where I need a camera relatively close to me, or just need to be doing some wide shots for like a real estate video or whatnot. And looking at these video samples that I created, there's no vignetting in the corners, which is a good thing because cheaper lenses sometimes create some vignetting. But of course, the unfortunate reality is no attachment lens is perfect. When you zoom in with this lens, the image gets really fuzzy and distorted really fast, and that's no good. So no zooming in on this lens. And also, if you compare this lens to just no lens, you'll notice that there is some distortion. It almost is a very slight fisheye effect where the middle of the frame is bulging out, so straight lines aren't actually straight. You can see this on the example of my house. You'll see at the door, the wood, it isn't exactly straight. It's a little bit distorted, and you really notice it when you take off the lens. But the reality is, because this is a wide angle lens, you're always really gonna have that distortion. It's something you really can't avoid. But is it a bad thing? I don't think so. Personally, I was rather happy with the images that I got with this lens. As long as you don't zoom in, they're crystal clear. Sure, there's some distortion, but that's what a wide angle lens is gonna do. You can't avoid it. And honestly, I don't mind the look. Of course, it's going to be depending on what you're filming, but I don't think that's a downside, at least for me. But at the end of the day, what do you guys think? Would you buy this lens? It is rather expensive at $450, but I think it's worth it, especially if you're using a high-end camcorder like the XA25. You're adding a high-quality camcorder with a high-quality lens. You're going to get some good results. So I'd recommend it. Anyway guys, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comment section below. Also, if you're going to buy this lens, there'll be a link in the description for you. Anyway guys, that's the video for today. I'm Eric. I'll see you in the next one.